Good day. My name is Mark Hyam. I'm with Peaceworks. Our organization does public education and advocacy around multiple issues, including climate change. We do not endorse or oppose candidates for office, but we inform our members, supporters, and the public at large as to where candidates stand on the issues that concern us. We've invited all candidates running for Boone County Commission or state legislature seats from Boone County who are in contested races to address the questions we've shared with them in advance regarding climate change and climate action. We're limiting each interview to a maximum of 10 minutes. I'm here today with Adrian Plank, who's running for election to the Missouri General Assembly. We appreciate him taking the time to respond and thus to make his views known. I will be asking questions we've shared previously and only doing follow-up if it seems it would be helpful to clarify a response. Well, good day, Adrian, and thank you for being here. Let's begin with our first question. Do you accept the scientific consensus that climate change is real, human-caused, and happening now? In your opinion, is human-caused climate change a serious concern? And if elected, would you make addressing the climate crisis a top-tier concern?
Mark, the answer to all three of them questions is yes. Climate change is real. It is caused by humans. We do need to take swift action. I don't know that we have the leadership to do that, but as activists, we need to push for that. So absolutely, yes on all three of those.
Excellent. All right. What specific policy initiatives would you pursue to address climate change on the state level if you're in the General Assembly?
There's two or three issues that I'd like to address as far as policy positions. First of all, we need to labeling for where our beef comes from. So country of origin and even state of origin labeling. The other, and I'll get into it in a minute, but other is we need to invest in solar and wind. And that needs to be done at an individual level, primarily because there's a lot of individuals that are interested in reducing carbon output. And if we can get those people invested in those technologies sooner, faster, at a better economic rate, then that'll be something we need to push for. The other is hemp production. Hemp production will allow us to grow other instances, products that will ensure that we have a cleaner environment. You know, with hemp production, you can replace plastics and fibers, fiberglass products. For instance, plastic rings around bottles and cans that we produce to keep those cans together for purchase can be replaced with hemp production and hemp products, which actually biodegrade in a way shorter amount of time, and we can keep those plastics out of our environment. We'll get back to beef production right now is a big cause of methane. JBS is the largest beef producer and manufacturer in the world. And they are owned by a Brazilian company, and that Brazilian company is responsible for about 80% of the trees destruction in the Amazon, in order to have grounds for producing more cattle and beef. And that company in itself has $56 billion in revenue, and 35.2 billion of that is from the United States. So if we can clamp down on those corporations with the labeling, country of origin labeling, and even the state of origin labeling, that way as Missourians, we know where we're buying our beef and how it's being produced, and if it's produced in a way that is conducive to reducing carbon, and we don't have to buy from them. So that's a big issue. Brazilian companies in their biggest market is the United States. So obviously they have lots of money. They buy lots of politicians. it is a staple for the Republicans and even some Democrats who have taken money from these corporations, which holds up a lot of issues as far as moving forward on climate change. With investing in solar and wind, a lot of your electrical co-ops don't like it, so they don't push for it. And whenever you do put solar on your house or your barn or wherever, they don't like it at all. So what happens is that you'll get your initial savings through the electric company from the electricity that you produce, but at the back end, they'll charge you the fees that make up the difference. So in reality, the money that you would have saved for producing your own electricity, you lose because of the fees and stuff they put on the back end. So that's some policy that we need to do.
Right. I guess when looking at these changes, what do you see as the greatest obstacles to enacting and implementing these policies, and how would you address this?
The greatest obstacles is big money. JBS, Smithfield, all these big producers have mass amounts of money, and they buy policy with that money. And that's a big problem with not just in the United States, but in Brazil. So they have those politicians bought to where they have no concern about climate. It's only about capitalism and making profits. So the biggest obstacle is the politicians that are currently elected that have taken money from these big corporations that don't have the best interests of the American people at heart.
Gotcha. Next question, would you favor Missouri adopting a climate action and adaptation plan? And if so, would you take the initiative to propose moving this forward from the state legislature?
Absolutely. Yes to that. Earlier, we were discussing Carolyn Amprin, who happens to live in the district. She also helped with the Columbia's climate action plan in the city. And these are the experts that we need to be consulting with, as well as you, Mark, as far as creating a plan that works best for Missouri. And I would be happy to lead that.
All right. And at this point, are there other thoughts you have regarding addressing climate change you'd like to share with the voters listening?
We've just got to keep active. As soon as we stop pushing, they'll roll us right over. So I think if we keep the push on, eventually we'll wear them out. And with facts and science, we can change the tide.
All right. Well, Adrian Plank, I thank you for your time and I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.